Kannan sir,
Yes, ma'am.
after posting in the Telegram group, you will post in the for the guest sir, or
I already posted the guest, ma'am. Better you can make a call to him, ma'am. Yesterday I
okay
told.
sir.
Uh,
Okay sir. After 5 minutes, I'll call sir.
yeah, yeah. So very happy morning to all. So this is Dr. Kannan Palraj, Professor Nehru, Institute of Management Studies, Coimbatore. I'm very happy to host this personality development program on mastering the mind for conquering the world. The today resource person, Dr. P. Kanagaraj, Associate Professor and Head, Department of Political Science, Government Arts College, Coimbatore, and is a free IAS exam coach and Chief Mentor, Higher Studies, Coimbatore. I am very happy to be act as a moderator for these sessions. Now I request all the participants to introduce yourself. You just unmute your mic and tell about your name and your designations and which institution you are studying or working, and where the institution is located, whether it may be in a state
Yes,
or
sir.
country. Kindly introduce one by one, because this event also streaming in YouTube lively. So if you want wish, you can turn on your video also. Yes. Kindly introduce one by one, please.
Sir, myself,
Yes, sir.
yes, sir. Sir, myself, Professor Kanagaraj from Nehru College of Aeronautics and Applied Sciences, Coimbatore, and I am the head of the department of BSc and BBA Aeronautical Sciences.
Welcome,
Good
sir.
morning, sir.
Morning. Welcome, sir.
Madam, Anbe Sivam,
Anbe Sivam, sir. Thank you. Bless us, sir.
all your every seminar is webinar is very nice, madam. Very good.
Thank you, sir. Please
All
do.
blessings.
Okay, sir.
Sir.
Thank you, sir.
So instead of typing chat box, so kindly unmute your mic and introduce in this open platform.
Participants, a kind request. Our guest is going to join us soon. So let us all introduce ourselves. Instead of just typing in the chat box, you can unmute and you can just introduce.
Good morning, all.
Good morning, ma'am.
Dr. Y. Kalaivani from Chennai, SDNB Vaishnav College.
Good
Best
morning,
wishes to the organizers.
Thank you. Welcome, ma'am. Thank you so much for joining.
Thank you.
Yes, other participants, you can also introduce yourself.
Participants, kindly introduce yourself. We are waiting for the guest to join soon. You can unmute your mic and introduce one by one. I see lot. Other participants? Other participants,
Hello.
kindly introduce yourself.
Hello.
Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
Hi. I'm Dr. Supriti Chawla. I'm calling from Delhi.
Welcome,
And
ma'am.
all the very best for your program.
Okay.
May God bless you all.
Thank you. Thank you. Supitra, ma'am, which institution you belong to?
I belong to South Delhi Municipal Corporation. We are owing
Can,
565 schools. That is
whoa.
South Delhi Municipal Corporation.
Wow. Okay. Okay. You're heading those uh, ministry, ma'am.
No, I'm the part of that ministry. No
Okay.
one is head.
Okay. 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 How did you get to know about this program?
Actually, through Telegram group, one of my colleague told me that you people are pursuing this program.
Okay. Okay. Welcome. Welcome. We are so happy. How is Delhi, ma'am?
It's too hot over here there.
Okay. Okay. Take care. Stay home safe.
Sure. Thank you. Thank you. God bless.
Welcome. Yeah. Thank you.
Welcome, ma'am.
Participants? Kannan sir, has the guest joined?
I hope that, ma'am.
No, ma'am.
Okay, ma'am. Okay.
Other
I think
parts.
Kannan sir has posted in a Telegram group.
Okay. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Participants, kindly introduce yourself. We have some more minutes left.
Good morning, madam.
Good morning, ma'am.
This is Vijay Lakshmi, working as assistant professor in Annamacharya Institute of Technology and Sciences, Tirupati.
Welcome, Vijay Lakshmi, ma'am. I think this is the second time you're attending our program.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Welcome, welcome. We are happy to get you back again.
Thank you, ma'am.
Welcome.
Good morning, ma'am.
Good morning, ma'am.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning, ma'am. This is Gopala Krishnamurthy. I am an associate
Yep.
professor in Pragati. I am an associate professor in Pragati Engineering College, Andhra Pradesh.
Welcome, welcome, Gop.
This is a Rajamundry. I have 35 years of teaching experience and 20
Okay.
years of experience as a principal of a degree women's and PG colleges.
Oh, great. Okay. Welcome, sir.
Welcome,
Thank you.
sir.
I am around 60 now. Thank you very much, madam.
Yes, sir.
Good morning, ma'am.
Good morning, ma'am.
This is Nikila from GRG SMS Coimbatore, ma'am.
Yes,
Good
ma'am.
morning, Nikila. You are a faculty there or a student there?
Student, ma'am. I'm pursuing MBA there, ma'am.
Okay. First year or second year?
First year, ma'am.
First year. Okay. Welcome and have a nice day, Nikila.
ma'am.
Welcome, ma.
Thank you.
Good morning, ma'am.
Good morning, sir.
I Ishtiaq Ahmed, Jammu and Kashmir, from Mahatma Gandhi Central University, Bihar.
Welcome, Ishaq Ahmad, sir. I'm happy you're again back with us.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
Yeah, welcome.
Good morning, ma'am.
Good morning, ma'am.
I'm Lubina from Madurai Kamaraj University, doing my M.Com first year.
Oh, welcome. Welcome, ma.
Thank you, ma'am.
Yes.
Hello.
Hello, yes, sir.
Good morning, madam. I am Dr. N. Manivannan, Associate Professor, Wales University, Chennai, madam.
Welcome, Manivanan, sir.
This is the second one program for me, ma'am. This is the second one.
Okay,
Yes.
okay. Please, yeah, join for all our programs and take the inputs to your students.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am.
Yeah, welcome. Yeah.
Good morning, ma'am.
Good morning, ma'am.
Ma'am, I'm Par Kavya, studying BSc Honors Agriculture, ma'am.
Yeah, tell me, Kavya, which college?
Palar Agriculture College, ma'am, from Vellore district.
Vellore district. Oh, welcome, welcome.
Thank you, ma'am.
Hello.
Yes, yes, sir.
Hello. Madam. I am
Vanakkam,
Velpandi
yes,
from
sir.
Tirunelveli, Dakshambara Nada Sangam Kalluri,
Yes, sir.
Tirunelveli.
Vanakkam, sir.
Thank you, ma'am.
Ah. Hello. Yes, other participants. This is the first time you're attending our program, ma'am?
No, ma'am, this is second time.
Okay, okay. Please take the inputs to your students, ma'am.
Sure, ma'am, thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Good morning, ma'am.
Ma'am.
Good morning, ma'am.
Ma'am, I'm Pramila from Govt Arts College, Coimbatore, ma'am.
Welcome, ma'am.
Welcome, ma'am. Welcome, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am.
Chitra, ma'am. Chitra has joined, ma'am. Chitra, ma'am.
Oh, right.
Okay.
Where is Chitra, ma'am?
Chitra, ma'am.
Hello, ma'am.
Hello. Good morning.
Hello, ma'am. How are you?
Fine, ma'am. You're rocking, ma'am.
Thank you so much. Yes, ma'am.
You're rocking. Keep going, ma'am.
Thank you with all your best wishes and support and our Shanti ma'am's efforts.
Welcome, Chitra, ma'am.
Hello. Video on minute. கேக்குதா கேக்குதாடா நம்மளதான் பண்ணிக்கியா என்னது
Other participants, kindly introduce yourself.
Yes, good morning, madam. Very
good morning.
This is Govt from Kakinada, ma'am.
Welcome, Govardhan Reddy, sir. Have a good day.
Thank you. ma'am.
Yeah,
Thank
welcome.
Good morning, ma'am. Good morning,
Good
ma'am.
morning, ma'am. Good morning.
This is Dr. Sudhamadi, Alagappa University.
Welcome, welcome, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Hello, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am. Good morning, ma'am.
Very good morning, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
I'm Parimala Rani from Alagappa University.
Okay. Dean of which department, ma'am?
Department of Banking Management, ma'am.
Oh, great. Okay. Welcome, ma'am. Welcome. Welcome to our program.
Yeah, thank you, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Good morning, ma'am.
Good morning, ma'am.
Kalaivani from Krishnamal College, GRG School of
Okay.
Management. I am a
Okay.
student, first year student, ma'am.
Oh, welcome, Kalaivani. Already, I think your friend Nikila is here.
Yes,
Other
ma'am.
participant, kindly
Oh,
mute
welcome,
yourself.
welcome, welcome.
Good morning, ma'am.
Good morning, ma'am.
Divya from EMG Adava Women's College.
Which college, Divya?
EMG Adava Women's College, ma'am.
Madurai?
Madurai.
Oh, welcome, Divya.
Thank you, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
HOD, ma'am.
Good morning.
Sir has joined, ma'am.
Okay.
Yes, yes. Good morning, sir. This is Dr. Nandini from Nehru Institute of Management Studies. Good morning, sir.
Good morning, ma'am. Good morning. Good morning.
Good morning. Welcome, welcome to the session, sir. Sir, we are just introducing the participants, sir. We thought for 2 or 3 minutes we will ask the participants to introduce themselves, sir. Can we proceed, sir, with the introduction?
Very good.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, surely, ma'am. Surely, please.
Oh, thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. Participants. Participants, kindly unmute and introduce yourself. Sir is waiting to listen to you all.
Good morning, ma'am. This is Kripal. Research Scholar Education, SRT Campus, Kiri, Uttarakhand, HNB Gadwal University.
Welcome, welcome, Kripal Singh.
Hello.
Ji, ma'am.
Good morning. Good morning, ma'am.
Good morning, ma'am.
Sucharita from Govt College, Chennai.
Welcome, welcome, ma'am.
Welcome,
Yeah,
ma'am.
good morning, ma'am.
Thank you.
Good morning,
Good
ma'am.
morning. Good morning.
Good morning.
This is Dr. Ketan Veera from Mumbai, GNVS Institute of Management.
Yeah, welcome, Ketan, sir. I think this is second time you're attending our program.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Second time. Yes.
Yeah, welcome, welcome.
Good morning, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am.
Good morning, good morning.
This is Dr. Harika from Telangana.
Harika from Telangana. From which institute, Harika, ma'am?
Vijay Engineering College.
Vijay? Oh, good, good, good. Take the inputs of sir and share it with all your classmates and friends.
Yeah, ma'am. Sure, ma'am.
Yeah, sure. Okay, welcome.
Good morning,
Hello,
ma'am.
Good morning, ma'am.
Good morning, ma'am.
This is from.
One by one, please. All the others, mute your mics. One by one. Yes, somebody said good morning.
Hello, good morning, ma'am.
Good morning.
Ma'am, this is Sebin, and I'm from Madras Christian College. I'm pursuing MCOM from Madras Christian College.
Oh, welcome, welcome, ma.
Thank you, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Good morning, ma'am.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning, ma'am.
Good morning, sir.
I'm Dr. Kannan from Presidency College, Chennai.
Welcome, sir. Welcome, sir. Stay safe in
Thank
Chennai.
Yes, sir. Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, all the participants, I see many participants from Chennai. Kindly stay safe in Chennai and have a good day. Take whatever points our guest is sharing today to your friends and your colleagues and your students.
Good morning, ma'am. This is Dr. T. Vijay Chitra.
Yes, ma'am. Good morning.
I'm from
Your
NGM College.
Oh, good morning. Good morning, Chitra. I think this is the second or third time you're attending our program.
No, ma'am, it's nearly eighth program, I think.
Oh, great. Okay. Welcome. We are so
Yes, ma'am.
happy that you repeatedly join with us. Kindly
Yes,
take
ma'am.
home all these points and share it with your students, ma'am.
Yeah, sure, ma'am. Nice topic for today.
Good morning, ma'am.
Yeah. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you. Good morning, ma'am. Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning, ma'am.
This is Siva Shankar,
Yes,
GVN
sir.
College, Coimbatore, Tuticorin district.
Welcome, welcome,
Welcome,
Sivasankar,
sir.
Thank you, ma'am.
Welcome,
Yes,
Sivasankar,
sir.
sir.
Sir, good morning, sir.
Good morning, sir. Welcome, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Yes.
Kannan, sir.
Yeah, yes, ma'am.
It is almost 10.
Yes, ma'am. We'll start, ma'am.
10. Sir is waiting.
Yeah, we
Shall
will
we start the program?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. So,
You're ready with the video, right?
yes, ma'am.
Yes.
So, very happy morning to one and all present here. This is Dr. Kannan Palraj, Professor, Nehru Institute of Management Studies. I'm very happy to host this personality development program on mastering the mind for conquering the world. So, we have a resource person, the dynamic person, Dr. P. Kanagaraj, sir, free IAS exam coach, to give a valuable address to our sessions. Now I request our second year MBA student, Devi, to deliver the welcome address and introduce the chief guest. Over to Devi.
Sir, am I audible?
Yeah, audible.
Yes, ma. Yes. Good morning, everyone. Heartily welcome to one and all present here. I am Devi AS, second year MBA student of Nehru Institute of Management Studies. It's my pleasure to welcome each one of you for our today's webinar, Personality Development Program on Mastering the Mind for Conquering the World. On behalf of Nehru Institute of Management Studies, it's my great privilege to welcome our resource person of the day, Dr. P. Kanagaraj, sir, Associate Professor and Head Department of Political Science in Government Arts College, Coimbatore, and free IAS exam coach, Chief Mentor, Higher Studies, Coimbatore. Briefing about Dr. P. Kanagaraj, sir, he has done his graduation from Loyola College, Chennai. He did his postgraduation, MPhil, and doctorate in political science from Jawaharlal Nehru University, New Delhi. He provides free coaching for IAS or IPS exam known as civil service exam, and his 80 students have got through the exam. His students work as collectors and superintendents of police in many districts in Haryana, Jammu Kashmir, Maharashtra, Karnataka, Andhra Pradesh, and Tamil Nadu. He provides his entire coaching free of cost and provides this coaching as social service. And his students are inculcated with values of social commitment, patriotism, moral integrity, professionalism, and selfless service. There are more than 280 students attending this free coaching program for preliminary test, main test, and personality test. They hail from the length and breadth of the country from Coimbatore, Chennai, Hyderabad, Cochin, Bangalore, Pune, Bhopal, and New Delhi. Around 1,000 students have got through various competitive recruitment exams in diverse sectors like banking, uniformed services, school and collegiate services, public sector companies, and even PhD exams. All these coaching are provided free of cost as social service. He also organizes a series of coaching programs entitled Empowering for Future for underprivileged children studying in government and corporation schools, colleges, and residing in slum localities. The children were imparted with career guidance, exposure, soft skills, communicative skills, emotional skills, digital skills, adversity management, and leadership training. These programs were done as social service without any fees. Around 4,60,000 underprivileged children were the beneficiaries of these programs. He has also written 2 books. The first one is Achieving Success in IAS Interview, a primer for aspirants, and second one is Empowering for a Future, a set of tips for development of underprivileged youth. He regularly writes articles in the Hindu, Tribune, and the Hindustan Times, and he also written several research articles in national and international journals. On behalf of Nehru Group of Institutions and Nehru Institute of Management Studies, we wholeheartedly welcome you, sir, to handle the session. Next, I would like to welcome Dr. P. Krishnakumar, sir, CEO and Secretary of Nehru Group of Institutions, Dr. K. Nandini, ma'am, Principal of Nehru Institute of Management Studies, HOD, Dr. Shanti, ma'am, and professors of NIMS, students, and delegates from different parts of the world. On behalf of NIMS family, I heartily welcome all of you for our today's program. Thank you and have a great day. Sir, it's my great privilege to welcome you to handle the session. Over to you, sir.
Thank you, Tridevi.
Thank you, Tridevi.
Now I am going to
show
small video clips
about
our guest.
தஞ்சாவூர் மாவட்டம் குருவாடிப்பட்டியில் ஒரு விவசாய குடும்பத்தில் 4வதாக பிறந்தவர் கனகராஜ். அரசு பள்ளியில் ஆரம்ப கல்வி பயின்று டெல்லி ஜவஹர்லால் நேரு பல்கலைக்கழகத்தில் MA, MPhil, PhD என படித்து முடித்தார். IAS தேர்வுக்காக 2 முறை முயன்று தோல்வியடைந்து பின் ஒரு கட்டத்தில் கல்லூரி விரிவுரையாளராகிவிட்டார். ஆனாலும் தன் நிறைவேறாத கனவை மற்றவர்களுக்கு நனவாக்கி காட்ட முடிவு செய்தார். 2007ஆம் ஆண்டு கோவை அரசு கலைக்கல்லூரியில் இலவச IAS பயிற்சியை தொடங்கினார். இவரது முயற்சியால் இதுவரை 88 பேர் IAS, IPS, IFS மற்றும் IRSகளாக தேர்ச்சி பெற்றிருக்கின்றனர். 4.25 லட்சம் குழந்தைகளுக்கு போட்டித் தேர்வுகளுக்கு தயாராவதற்கு உதவும் வாழ்விற்கு திறனேற்றுதல், அதாவது எம்பவர்மெண்ட் ஃபார் ஃபியூச்சர் என்கிற பயிற்சியையும் இலவசமாக அளித்திருக்கிறார். கனவுகளுக்கு வழிகாட்டும் கனகராஜை 2019ஆம் ஆண்டின் டாப் 10 மனிதராக கௌரவித்து கர்வம் கொள்கிறது ஆனந்த விகடன். இது விருதாளருக்கான தருணம்.
இது ஒரு அருமையான நேரம். கிட்டத்தட்ட 40 வருடங்களாக நான் ஆனந்த விகடனை படித்து வருகின்றேன். எனக்கு ஏராளமான ஆனந்தத்தை ஆனந்த விகடன் வழங்கி வந்தது. இன்றைக்கு நம்பிக்கையை எனக்கு வழங்கி இருக்கின்றது. அதற்காக எனது மனமார்ந்த நன்றியை தெரிவித்துக் கொள்கிறேன்.
அடுத்ததா டாப் 10 இளைஞர்களுக்கான விருது. இந்த விருதை வழங்குறதுக்காக 90s கிட்ஸோட
stretch from 10 a.m. to 1:30 p.m. He is known as the free IAS exam coach. P. Kanagaraj, an associate professor of political science at the Government Arts College in Coimbatore, has been conducting free IAS coaching classes from 2003. Till date, he has helped more than 88 youngsters crack the tough civil services exam. 21 got into the IAS and 30 others got the IPS. Every day, he conducts the classes from 4 p.m. to 6:30 p.m. On Sundays, the classes are held at one stretch from 10 a.m. to 1:30 p.m. Around 400 students are presently attending his classes. 50-year-old Kanagaraj hails from a village in Thanjavur district, Tamil Nadu. He did his graduation in English literature from Loyola College, Chennai, and his doctorate in political science from JNU, Delhi. Kanagaraj could not achieve his dream of entering the civil services. But today, this unsung hero is free others.
So now over to our guest, Kanagaraj sir. Kanagaraj sir. Yeah. Sir, your mic is mute, sir. Kindly unmute and talk, sir.
Good morning to all. It is a great moment for me. It's a proud moment for me. At the outset itself, I would like to thank the management and the faculty associated with the Nehru Institute of Management Studies for giving me this wonderful opportunity to be the resource person in this seminar. It's a great moment for me. Thank you all. And as they demonstrated in the videos, I conduct a free coaching program in Coimbatore. Lots of students study there, and many students have got through the exam. And in the last 13-14 years, I have met around 450,000 children all over the country as part of the Empowering for Future program. And whenever I meet youngsters, I'm really impressed with their talent, their drive, enthusiasm, their capacities, etc. But one thing, what I observed, many of the students really talented, but they thoughts, my experience, on this issue with the participants here. Sometime back, one of his students spoke to me. He is now working as a collector in one district in North India. And he got the exam around 6-7 years back. And he was a student here in my free coaching program for 2 to 3 years. And he spoke to me. And we had a chat for nearly half an hour. We were speaking. After that, he was telling, sir, I asked him, how is your work experience now? How is your collectorship now? How are things moving there? And he said, sir, it's really going on nicely. It's a very important work that I'm doing. I get a lot of satisfaction. At the same time, I have a lot of stress here because being an IAS officer, being a collector, it is a 24 hours job. It is very stressful because I'm meeting lots of people. I'm dealing with lots of issues of different nature. And he told me one thing that I would like to share with the participants here. He said, sir, you taught me so many things when I was a student to get through the exam. Really, I'm thankful to you for teaching me so many things in those 2 years. But I will never forget one 20-minute session that I had with you, because that session is useful to me even now, even after becoming an IAS officer. And what was the session that I'm going to say? That was about mind management. One more instance. Around 5 years back, one high-ranking police officer came to see me in my free coaching program in Center. And that lady officer was a bit depressed. When the moment she came in, she started talking to me. I can understand that she's having some problem or depression. I asked her, what is the problem? She said, sir, I have only one son. And he was very studious. He was doing nicely. He was very good in academics. But for the last 3 months, he's not concentrating on academics. It seems his mind is diverted. He's not being enthusiastic. He's not being normal. I think he's suffering from diversion, addictions, etc. She was telling. Then she brought her son also, and I had a small talk with him. After that, I told that senior officer, Madam, I will take care of your son. You can go back to your office, and I'll send him to your office, to your home, once the session is over here. Then I was talking to him. and I spoke to him for 1 hour, and we had a lot of interesting conversations, a lot of things to talk about. I asked him what he is doing, etc. Then, when I was talking to him for 1 hour, I understood the problem is in. Then I gave him some training, and after that he went. And after that he started attending my free coaching program regularly. And within 1 or 2 years, he got through the exam. I think in 2013 or 14, he got through the exam. He became an IAS officer. After he got through the exam, his mother, the senior police officer, she came to me and asked me, "Sir, I'm very thankful to you because the future of my son is very safe now. He's very successful now. He got through the exam. He's working as an IAS officer. He's doing a fantastic job. We are really happy. But I want to ask you one particular thing. What happened, right? I brought my son a few years back to your chamber. You spoke to him. What did you tell him? Because after that, he was a changed man. He was having 100% concentration on his studies. He was having focus, and he was not diverted at all. Then I told him, it is nothing, man. He had some issues, and we spoke to him, and he understood, and his mental diversions were rectified. Now he's working. So these students who are very successful, who attended my free coaching program, who became successful, I see them very talented. They are very ambitious. They are committed to the development of their families. They are committed to the development of the nation. They are committed to the development of India, etc. I understand that. But at times, they suffer from diversions, limitations. They suffer from mental problems in the sense addictions to bad things, etc. So whenever I see the students, what I tell them, mind is everything. Unless you have the proper mind, unless you have the positive mind, you cannot be successful. Whatever ambitions you have, whatever objectives you have, if you want to achieve something in your life, then whatever the kind of preparation that you put in, you will not be successful. You will not be successful unless you cultivate your mind. What is that? Mind is very, very powerful. All the great people also talk about the mind. For example, Gautam Buddha, the greatest son of India, he talked about the mind. You become what you think. And similarly, lots of people, for example, John Milton, one of the greatest poets in English literature. He authored the book Paradise Lost. He also authored the book Paradise Gained. He is perhaps the greatest poet in English literature. He also says that mind has its own world. It lives in its own world. It can convert heaven into hell and hell into heaven. So unless you have control over your mind, we cannot be successful. This is what I tell my students. This is the training that I give my students, and they become successful. So whatever ambitions we have, what we should do, we should form a simple present tense statement. The statement that contains our ambition. Suppose we want to become a great political leader. We should say, I am a great political leader. I am a member of parliament. I'm the president of a very powerful party. I'm the union minister. I'm the president of the country. Like that, one positive statement about our ambitions. Suppose you want to become an administrator. I'm a collector. I'm a chief secretary. I'm a secretary, like that. Suppose you want to become a great entrepreneur. I'm the richest man in the world. I'm very successful as a businessman, like that. One simple present tense statement about our ambition, about our objectives. What we should do, whenever we are sleeping, we should meditate for a few minutes, 8 to 10 minutes. After meditating, we should go to our subconscious mind. And here, we should know a bit about the intricacies of the mind. Mind is actually consisting of two different areas, two different categories. One is the conscious mind, the other one is the conscious mind. And the mind can be compared with the iceberg. Iceberg has two parts. The upper part is visible. It is seen over the ocean, but it is very small. And the bottom part, lower part, is large. It is submerged in the ocean. And the bottom part, the second part, is the most powerful one. It is the biggest one. It is many times bigger than the upper portion. So similarly, the mind is consisting of two dimensions, two parts. One is the conscious mind, which is similar to the seen portion of the iceberg. The second one is the subconscious mind, which is the submerged part of the iceberg. Subconscious mind is very, very powerful. We should train our subconscious mind. So what we should do, whenever we are sleeping, just before sleeping, we should lie down in the bed and meditate for around 8 to 10 minutes. Once we do that, we can go to our subconscious mind. There, we should tell our objectives in life, our ambitions in life, our targets in life in simple present tense statement. Here, you should tell this to your mind for 8 to 10 times. After that, we can go to sleep. After that, when we wake up in the morning, again, lie down in the bed and meditate for a few minutes, around 8 to 10 minutes. Go to your subconscious mind and feed the subconscious mind with your ambition, with that statement, present tense statement about your ambition in life. After that, you carry on with your normal activities. You don't have to worry anything about your objectives. You concentrate on doing, not on thinking. But what psychologists say, the subconscious mind, it goes all over the world to fulfill the task that is given to you. Suppose if you tell your subconscious mind, you are the president of the country, the subconscious mind thinks that you are the president of the country, so it tries to make you the president of the country. Suppose you tell the subconscious mind that you are the biggest, richest businessman in your area, then the subconscious mind thinks that you are the biggest businessman and it tries to make you the biggest businessman of the world. It goes all over the world. So if you do this continuously, what happens after a few years, after a few months, depending on your goal, whatever ambitions you have, whatever thoughts you feed your subconscious mind with, it will lead to the fusion. A lot of psychologists have talked about it. Right here, the mind can be compared with the Aladdin's lamp. All of us know, all of us have studied that story, that Aladdin's lamp, it contains the genie. And somebody opens the genie and it comes out, it is always active. It is always trying to fulfill whatever command you give, whatever orders you give, whatever task you give that genie, it carries out. Similarly, the subconscious mind. We should do that. Not only our ambitions, not only our objectives, even the problems that we have. All of us will have problems. Human beings will definitely have problems. And when we have problems, there are problems which can be easily solved. There are problems that lead to disappointment. And there are certain problems that lead to depression. So a lot of students we see coming under depression, they become victims of depression, and they even commit suicide. Not only students, even the role models in society, very successful people in society, they also commit suicide. And daily we see this phenomenon. And for that also, the solution is nurturing the subconscious mind, cultivating the subconscious mind. So what we should do, whatever problems we have, we should calmly think about our problem. We find out a solution for our problem, and we convert the problem, that solution, into one present tense statement. And daily, we should tell our subconscious mind the solution for our problems. This I have seen with lots of students. Students have different varieties of problems. For example, some students have problems in communication. Some students have problems in speaking English. Some students have problems in understanding some subjects. Some students have problems in coming to the stage and speaking to the audience. Some students have problems, interpersonal problems. Some students, they have problems with their parents, with teachers, with friends, former friends, etc. So whatever problems we have, some students are addicted to something like smoking. And whatever problems we have, we should patiently think, we should calmly think and find out a present tense solution for our problem. Once we find out the solution, what we should do daily, we feed that solution to our subconscious mind before sleeping and after waking up. When we do this continuously, consistently, for 1 month, for 2 months, for 3 months, what happens? The problem will disappear from our mind. Everybody, it is not a thing, it is not a message that I am giving after reading the books. This is the message I'm sharing with the participants here from my experience as a free IAS exam coach, from my experience as a teacher who is involved with shaping the lives of thousands of students here. A lot of students really talented, but they have one particular problem, this mind attitude problem. When they have that problem, they lose everything, they become unsuccessful. they fall into depression. So to overcome this, what we should do, we should daily talk to our mind. Mind is the most important thing. Mind actually matters. If you don't mind your mind, mind will not mind you. Another important point, the world is full of competition, the world is full of struggle. Survival of the fittest is the law of nature in this world. And in this period, whenever students fail, whenever students are not able to meet their aspirations, realize their aspirations, they become depressed. So the peace of mind is the most important thing for everybody. They say that the most important thing in life is peace of mind. But peace of mind itself is not about minding it. We should not mind about serious failures in our life. We should not mind about our drawbacks. What we should do, we should always focus positively on our objectives in life, our goals in life, etc. This I have seen from the life of my students. This is the lesson, this is the session that I had with that student, the son of a senior IPS officer in my coaching center, who later on became an IAS officer. This is the session that I had with my student, who is now working as a collector in one North Indian district. So when we speak to our children, when we speak to our students, when we speak to our friends who are having problems, when we tell them this message that minding the mind is most important thing, they will overcome any problem in their life and they will be very positive. Here, when we culture the mind, when we nurture the mind, when we cultivate the mind, there are certain things, certain attributes of mind that we should know. One is the mind does not process the negatives, very important point. Mind does not understand the negatives. Here the mind can be compared with the Google. Google, if you type any, you type anything negative in Google. Suppose you write in the Google, no monkeys. In the search, it will bring out everything about the monkey. It will not process that no. It will concentrate on the monkey. Similarly, our subconscious mind. Whatever you treat the subconscious mind with negative things, it will not process. If you tell the subconscious mind, I am not foolish, the subconscious mind will think that you are foolish. So we should be very careful that we should speak to our subconscious mind always in positive statement, not in negative statement. And they say when nature created human beings, God created human beings, it gave them one wonderful gift. It gave them one wonderful friend, that is the subconscious mind. If you cultivate, if you train your subconscious mind, it will be really very, very good to you. You will have the greatest friend in the world for you. Suppose you don't culture it, you don't nurture it, you don't cultivate it, what happens? It will become your own enemy. It will be residing within you, but it will be your enemy. It will be a traitor for you and your cause if you don't cultivate it. That's why many people, right, if they don't focus on the mind, however talented they are, they cannot achieve their aims and objectives in life, and they fall into depression and they start hearing strange voices. Ultimately, even some of them take the last resort, they commit suicide. So when we cultivate our mind, we will be successful in literature, in sports, in politics, every way you can understand, in religion, every way you can understand. For example, take the case of literature. In literature, for example, in Tamil literature, all of us know Thirukkural is the most important thing in Tamil literature. Thiruvalluvar spoke about so many things in life. And the thing that he spoke about human beings, about mind, etc., this is very, very important. He said, Mananalam Manir Takum. So for every human being in this world, for every being in this world, the most important thing is the welfare of the mind, is the cultivation of the mind. So similarly, there was one H.C.M. Maharishi. He talked about this poem. He said, Manamadu Semmayyanal Mandiram Zabikka Vendam. Manamadu Semmayyanal Vayuvai Uyartha Vendam. Manamadu Semmayyanal Vasiyai Nirutha Vendam. Manamadu Semmayyanal Mandiram Semmayyanal. So literature people also talk about this. Literature, great people in literature, role models in literature, they also speak about the mind management. In English literature, among the numerous poets that I studied, the most inspiring one is a poet who lived in the 19th century. He lived in the second part of the 19th century. His name is William Henley. His poem, The Age of Invictus, is the most important poem as far as inspiration for youngsters is concerned. And he had a personal experience in life. He was around 14, 15 years of age. He came to have one affliction. He came to be suffering from one disease. That disease, one kind of arthritis. And he went to the doctor. The doctor suggested the amputation of the leg. His leg was amputated. And after some time, the disease progressed in the second leg also. And the doctor suggested the amputation of the second leg also. And this moment was particularly very depressing for William Henley. He was around 18 years of age at that time. And he was in depression for some months. Then he gathered up all his mental strength. He started being positive. He wrote the poem, Age of Invictus. That poem is a great source of inspiration for many statesmen in the world. During the Second World War, Winston Churchill, the tallest statesman of England, he always quoted the poem. Similarly, Nelson Mandela, the greatest statesman from South Africa, he was imprisoned in Robben Island for more than 26, 28 years, and he was in solitary confinement. When he came out of the prison, when people asked him about how he managed his life there, he talked about the Age of Invictus as a source of inspiration. That poem, all students, all teachers, all achievers, all ambitious people must learn the poem, must memorize the poem, must understand the poem, must read the poem whenever they are facing adversities, whenever they are facing difficulties. The Age of Invictus. What does the poem say? Out of the night that covers me, black as a pit from pole to pole, I thank whatever gods may be for my unconquerable soul. I'm the master of my fate and the captain of my soul. So whatever difficulties you have, if you train your mind, if you control your mind, if you nurture your mind, definitely you will overcome the difficulty, you will overcome that adversity, and you will be successful in life. Not only in literature, even now. For example, even in science, we can speak about people who had strong positive thoughts in their life, who control their subconscious mind, who became really powerful and successful in life. For example, all of us know the greatest woman scientist of the world is Marie Curie. Marie Curie is very, very special. She's a role model scientist, role model woman for all women of this world, for all even men of this world. And there are many interesting things about her, many positive things about her. She was the first Nobel laureate. She was the first woman Nobel laureate. She was the first woman who won the Nobel Prize. And she was the first woman who had, right, not only she was a Nobel Prize winner, her doctor was a Nobel Prize winner. They jokingly say she was the first Nobel Prize winner who later on became the first mother-in-law of a Nobel Prize winner. So she had numerous achievements, but the most, when you look at her life, the adversities that she experienced, all these things she could overcome only because of her positive mind, her control over subconscious mind. When she was born in Poland, she went to Paris to study. After study, she wanted to come back to Poland, but she decided to stay back in Paris itself. And there are moments when she experienced great misfortune in life. For example, her husband passed away, and she was really in depression for some days. And she gathered her energies and concentrated on her scientific work. And the world spoke ill about her. They questioned her morality. They indulged in conspiracies against her. They humiliated her. They indulged in character assassination. Any woman would have broken down. Remember, she lived in a century where not many women were in science, were operating in public life. Women were found only in the kitchen. And she was working very hard in public life. And many people humiliated her, indulged in character assassination. But she overcame all these things, not only because of her scientific knowledge or abilities in science. More important, she overcame everything because of her control over her mind. Any normal person would have broken down, would have collapsed under the weight of that character assassination that was being imposed on. But she became successful only because she had a strong mind. We can speak about people from politics also. For example, in 20th century, one of the greatest statesmen in the world was the American president, right, Roosevelt. Roosevelt became the president of America in 1932. The 1932 elections were very, very crucial in the history of 20th century America, because the entire world, including America, experienced great economic depression, economic depression from 1928 to 1931. And at that period in 1932, elections were held, and in the election campaign, Roosevelt, he fought as a candidate for the presidential elections. And one of the famous statements, right, in that election campaign was this: "Here comes a man on wheels to set America again on the wheels of progress." Because Roosevelt was a polio victim, and he suffered from disabilities. He cannot stand on, right? He cannot stand. He was always wheelchair bound, right? From his legs were paralyzed. He was physically, he was physically devastated at that time. But he worked very hard. He had a strong mind. His mind is the ultimate guiding star for his life. He worked very hard and became successful. And that statement, "Here comes a man on wheels," just set America again on wheels. It became true, because he lifted America out of this economic depression. In about he introduced that New Deal policy. In about 4 to 5 years, America again became one of the most powerful nations in the world. So we can learn from politics, we can learn from literature, we can learn from sports. For example, take the case of sports. The greatest sportsman, the greatest cricketer in the world is Don Bradman. Don Bradman faced many adversities in his life, faced many difficulties in his life. He was grappling with a lot of disappointments, but only because of the control over the mind, only because of the positive mind that he had, he could become successful. Because one particular event we should tell our students, so that whenever they can learn from the experience of Don Bradman. Don Bradman was really unconquerable. When Australia visited England, Australia defeated England like anything, and in 1930. And Bradman was unstoppable. He scored centuries and runs at will. And in 1932, England went back to Australia and Ashes too. And everybody thought Bradman alone will decimate England. But English captain Jordan, he had used a technology, a new technique. That technique is called leg theory or body line bowling. When England went to Australia in 1932, the English team used body line bowling. In body line bowling, the pace bowlers, the fast bowlers were advised to target the upper portion of the body of the batsman. The bowlers, especially Lahore, they were told by the captain, don't aim at the stumps. You always aim at the upper portion of the batsman's body. And they targeted the batsman. In those days, the batsmen did not have helmet. They did not have modern protective equipment. So when the rising ball hit them on the head, hit them on the upper chest, they would be critically injured. They were scared. So this technique was used against Bradman. And because of this, Bradman was intimidated in the beginning, but he had a strong positive mind. He had complete control over his subconscious mind, and he worked very hard in the next match and came and scored a century. In that series, Bradman scored around 56%, right, in the test match series. And when we remember the overall percentage of Bradman, 99.96. 56 is relatively very small, but in the distress situation, it was a monumental achievement. Bradman could achieve that only because he had that control over the subconscious mind, training to the subconscious mind. So dear students, dear participants, whenever we want to be successful, what we should do, in spite of the preparation that we put for our test exams, if we don't pay attention to cultivating our mind, we will not be successful in life. So we should concentrate on that. And here, even from industries, business people, we can talk about examples. The greatest businessman in the world, right? They say Bill Gates is the greatest businessman in the world. And when you look at his life, he was always very strong in his mind. He was always very positive in his mind. And he was studying in Stanford, I think Stanford University, he was studying there. And he dropped out of the university. He did not complete his studies. And later on, he started this business. He became really successful. After 32 years, he went back to his university to receive his honorary doctorate. So in that meeting also, he spoke about that. Many people say he's the most famous dropout in the history of human education. He's the most famous dropout in the history of that university. Still, he became really successful because he had positive mind. They say that when he was in school, one day he was sitting in the upstairs of his house and his mother was calling out repeatedly for him and he was not responding. Mother got irritated. She went upstairs and she saw him sitting there in a chair. She immediately got angry and scolded him. I have been calling you many times, but you never responded. What are you doing? For that, Bill Gates, it seems he told his mother, Mother, Mommy, I am thinking. What are you doing? She asked him. He said, I'm thinking. And another question they say, the next statement from Bill Gates was, Mommy, I'm thinking now. Have you ever thought in your life? The mummy became angry and she hit him on the head, it seems. So that different kind of personality. A person who pays attention to the mind, that is very, very important. Bill Gates is important not only for wealth generation, he is also important for sharing, for charity work. He started this pledging program, and because of this, billions of rupees are being spent by him and fellow rich industrialists for the benefit of the mankind. And how he approaches his life. Mind is important. People asked him, when children were born to him, he famously stated that most of his wealth will not go to his children because the children should not be given money that will spoil their life. Instead, children must be given proper education, proper skills, proper attitude, proper mind management skills. And that is the lesson that we should convey to the youngsters, to the students whom we meet now, because if whatever they want to achieve in their life, if they have the proper mind, they will be successful in their life. Not only this, we can speak about numerous examples. For example, we can speak about history. In the history, all of us now speak English. English is the greatest spoken language of the world. All over the world, English being spoken. But around 500 years back, English was not spoken all over the world. It was spoken only in a small part of Europe. It was spoken in one island, England, by a few lakhs of people. But the entire world now speaks English. English means opportunity. English means wealth. English means development. English means prestige, status, etc. Education now. This transformation came because of one particular event in history that happened in 1588. That was the Great Armada War. At the time, the most powerful nation in the world was Spain. It was not England. England was comparatively a small nation at the time. There was a religious dispute. There was an economic dispute. There was a political dispute between England and Spain at that time. And England was a small nation. Spain was the superpower of the world because Spain dominated the new continents, newly discovered continents of South and North America. It had huge territory in South America. It had a wonderful war machine. That war machine was known as Armada. And at the time, the cutting-edge military technology was navigational technology, and Spain was the most powerful nation. They had that Armada fleet. And there was a dispute between these two nations, and Spain threatened invasion. And people in England, the top people in England, they went and told their Queen Elizabeth, that Spain is invading us, we should do something about it. We should broker peace between these two nations. Spain will devastate England. All of them were scared. But the Queen was a very spirited woman. She was a very strong woman. She had a positive mind. She had nurtured the power of the subconscious mind. She refused to yield to the intimidation tactics of Spain. And the war started. Everybody thought Spain will have a walkover. But but the English Queen was very, very indomitable. And through her guidance and leadership qualities, English Navy sailed in small boats, unexpectedly set fire to the Armada fleet. Armada fleet was destroyed. Nobody thought Spain will be defeated. Nobody thought Armada ship will be defeated. Nobody thought England will become a victorious nation. But England became a victorious nation in the battle in 1588. That was the turning point in the history of England. That was the turning point in the history of the world. From being a small nation, small country, England became the ruler of the world. In about 3 centuries, England established the largest empire in the history of the world. They established an empire and they boasted that it is the only empire in the history of mankind where the sun never sets. And English became the language of communication all over the world, the most powerful language, the language of opportunities in the world. This is because of that positive moment, that 1588 Armada War. If England had not demonstrated positive mind, if the English Queen had not demonstrated a cultured, nurtured, powerful subconscious mind, then England would have been defeated and Spain would have become powerful, would have become victorious. So nations, communities, individuals, scientists, all of them become successful because they cultivate their mind. And India is a very, very important nation because India is a nation that taught to the world from the beginning the concept of mind, the concept of cultivating mind. Indians, whatever difficulties Indians face, they overcome because whatever difficulties as the nation India faces, India always overcomes because Indians have that mind conditioning. They always look positively at everything in life. They become successful. So we can speak about numerous examples, and even from ideologies, even from political ideologies, even from philosophies, we can quote examples. Now the entire world follows liberalism. The entire world follows libertarianism. The entire world follows market economy, that capitalism, liberalism. When you look at the emergence of liberalism, liberalism emerged in 16th, 17th centuries. They say there was one great sociologist in Germany, Max Weber. He analyzed the growth of liberalism in Western Europe. He had a comparative study of Western Europe and other civilizations. And he came to the conclusion that Western Europe, there was one small branch of religious people, they are called Calvinists. They are instrumental in the birth of capitalism, in the birth of liberalism. They were successful in bringing liberalism to this world because they had paid attention to the mind. They had a kind of mental training. They never utilized the wealth that they generated. They always saved. They had a strong mind. Their mind was not tempted by material comforts in life. That's why they were able to bring liberalism, capitalism in this world. And this is how nations, communities, individuals, they become successful by controlling and shaping their mind. This is what our students must do. India is living in a wonderful period. Right? In spite of the pandemic that we are having, India has one great advantage in history, that the advantage of demographic dividend. Most of the Indians are young people. India is called the young youth capital of the world. When we provide right knowledge, right attitude, right skills, right positive spirit to the youngsters in the country, India will become a glorious power in the world. Whatever we had in the past, right, that we can regain in global theater when we cultivate the minds of our youngsters in this contemporary period. We should do that. And this I consider a great opportunity. And a lot of students are attending this program. And I would like to tell them, if you want to contribute to nation's development, if you want to contribute to your own development, if you want to achieve betterment for your society, for your family, for yourself, there are plenty of opportunities which are available. And for example, you can become a civil servant, you can become an industrialist, you can become a political leader, you can become a scientist. So career opportunities are in plenty. Whatever field you choose, for example, if you choose civil service, then you have to write the civil service exam. And a lot of students are writing this exam. They are always speaking to me. And when you write the exam, the most important point that you should keep in mind is mind management, controlling the mind, being positive about your goals. In civil service exam, students will not get through the exam in one single attempt. They can get through the exam only after repeated failures. Failures are very common in civil service. 99% of the IAS officers in the country, IPS officers in the country, they do not get through the exam. They did not get through the exam in the first attempt. In the second attempt, normally, usually, students clear the IAS IPS exam only in the third or fourth attempt. So they fail in the first 2 to 3 attempts. They fail in the preliminary test. They fail in the mains exam. Some of them fail in the interview. And only on signs of managing failures, only when they cultivate the positive mind to overcome adversity, to overcome failures, they can become successful. For example, a student of mine, he is now working as an IAS officer in Punjab. And he wrote this exam many times. And 4 times he went for IAS interview. In all 4 times, he failed. He cleared the preliminary test. He cleared the mains exam. He went to the interview. But he could not get through the interview. And he came to me. He stayed with me for 3 months. I spoke to him. He was really brilliant. He was really hardworking. He was smart also. He was but he could not get through the exam. Clearing the prelims, mains, going to interview, failing again and again. And he came to me. I spoke to him. I had interaction with him to find out what limitations he is suffering from. Then I understood he had this attitude problem. Attitude problem in the sense he was not very positive. And we gave this attitude training, this positive training, this auto-suggestion and visualization technique, subconscious mind training. And he worked on this for 3 months. And he went for interview in his final attempts. And when results were declared, he was very happily calling me from Delhi. He was very excited. He said, "Sir, I got through the exam. I got through the exam by scoring around 30 more marks in the interview. I scored 30 more marks in the interview than last time. But the 34 marks, they got me to IAS. And the 30 more marks he could get because he concentrated on subconscious mind training. So when we train our mind, we will be successful, we will be positive. No adversity in this world can defeat us. No difficulty in the world can depress us. No tsunami in the world can swallow us. When we are positive, individually and societally, when we are positive, we will achieve whatever objectives that we have. This is the message that I would like to share with our participants here, especially students here. And it is a great opportunity for me to come and talk in this webinar. I thank the management of Nehru Institute of Management Studies, the principal, the director, the faculty members, the director, the correspondent of this great institution. And they are doing a wonderful job in Coimbatore. And I regularly meet youngsters who study there. And the institution is providing a wonderful education to them, an ambience, academic ambience to them. It is a privilege for me to be a resource person in this program organized by the prestigious Nehru Institute of Management Studies. Thank you all. All the best for everyone. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, sir. So for the wonderful sessions. Now the forum open for question and answers. Yes, participant, you can unmute your mic. And you can ask queries. To our resource person. So actually one question in the chat box by Selvaraj Andalappan, I think. Sir, shall we include civil service syllabus in our regular curriculum?
Yes, sir. Yes, we can include, sir. Civil service syllabus we can include in our regular curriculum. It can be included in 2 ways. One, we can provide elective course on civil service, not only on civil service, on the syllabus of all competitive examinations. when you look at all the competitive examinations in the country, they have rather 60 to 70% similar syllabus. So for all competitive examinations, we can introduce elective courses in our syllabus. Civil service exam contains portions from almost all the subjects. For example, from economy, from politics, from administration, from geography, management, etc. So whatever portion is there, for example, in a management institution, we can include Indian economy syllabus of civil service exam as one of your papers in management studies. So we can include. Another important point, if you want to prepare for civil service exam, the best thing is reading the current affairs thoroughly. You should read the national newspapers thoroughly. You should watch television news channels and their debates, and you should read the news magazines. You should read everything from one single source, that is the newspapers and television channels. You should read Indian economy, Indian politics, international relations, science and technology, Indian geography, world geography, all these things from one single source, that is the newspapers, current affairs. So for example, now the world is facing this pandemic situation. And next year, definitely questions will be on COVID-19, coronavirus, then antibiotics, vaccine development, then epidemics, pandemic, all these areas. So what happens today, tomorrow it becomes part and parcel of the civil service exam or any other competitive examination. So it is better to write in all our courses. It will be fine if we introduce, Indian economy, Indian politics, Indian society, Indian history, international relations, science and technology in one form or the other. It is a good move.
Sir, another question.
Thank you, sir. I am Dr. Kanagaraj Andepan. I have raised another question also, please, sir. Please raise my second question, sir.
What is that, sir?
Sir, you can ask
Actually,
directly to the research person.
There are more than 1,000 students are studying every year.
Become?
In BCom, more than 1,000 students are studying every year.
Sir.
IAS aspirants are very, very limited, sir. At the maximum, 1 or 2. So, I am taking all possible steps to change the mindset and getting progress.
The thing is, here the most important point is the students must have their own inclination. They must have their own passion for civil service. Unless they have that inclination, they cannot force the civil service career from them. Another important point, every year civil service exam is conducted for only 1,000, around 1,000 vacancies. IAS is only for 150 vacancies around that. My suggestion would be in every college or every department, if only 5 to 10% of the students aspire for civil service, that is enough. And it is not a positive sign if the entire college student community concentrates on civil service. Because the world is very diverse. The opportunities are plenty in all walks of life. We need chartered accountants for our life, we need doctors, engineers, we need journalists, we need academics, we need scientists, not only civil service. So those students who are really interested to join civil service, contribute the development of India, we must encourage them by providing opportunities in other curriculum sectors.
Yes, area.
Thank you for the time.
Good morning, sir.
Yes, sir.
So, good morning, from Govt from Andhra Pradesh. I am an associate professor in Pragati Engineering College here. One of the students is preparing civil services on its own. So, do you provide any online courses or training classes for the students?
Voice is not clear.
Sir, okay, I am explaining it, sir.
Student is, yes, sir?
Yes.
Sir, he's asking whether we have online courses.
Online coaching.
Training modules for IAS students.
One of the students is preparing for IAS civil services, sir.
Sir, our students study there. Entirely social service that I do. So we don't have the resources to conduct online course now. And moreover, I believe that students will get the benefit money that they meet us in real classroom atmosphere. And another point, right, as the pandemic is imposed on us online methods of learning, in due course of time we plan to start online courses, but at present we are having only conventional classes.
Because if you provide us your mail ID, he will contact you. As and when necessary, he will put you.
Definitely, I will provide sir.
I provided a mail ID in the chat box, sir. Please.
My mail ID is very simple, sir. IASIPS 2011 @gmail.com.
Okay, sir.
IASIPS 2011 @gmail.com.
Thank you very much. All small letters. Thank you.
So, any other questions?
Hello, good morning, sir.
Yes, sir.
I am Adiswaran. As you said that when we focus the subconscious mind, I used to get the negativity first. So how to overcome the negativity to change into positivity mind, sir?
Actually, negatives are very powerful in the sense they are more appealing. But at the same time, we should not build power, eliminate them. Whatever negatives we have, like they say, delete technique must be used. Like in computer, we use the delete technique to delete something which we don't want. Similarly, if a negative thought appears in our mind, we should use that delete technique. Initially, we may find it very tough to delete it, but in due course of time, we have the willpower. Everything is actually mind. The mind, the strength of the mind. If you are focused, if you are really committed, you really want, definitely it will happen. Whatever we think, it will become. There is a great philosopher called Nehru. He said, I think, therefore I am. So whatever we are, is because of the thoughts that we have. So if we want to stop our negatives, we must focus on the positives. Repeated training, like when you walk in a jungle, immediately you cannot create a path. When you walk repeatedly in the jungle, you will create a path. Similarly, a single thought will not create an attitude in the mind. Only repeated reinforcements will create a positive right attitude to the mind. So repeated efforts are very important to leave negative thoughts, concentrate entirely on positive thoughts.
So very nice answers. Sir, one question in chat box.
Hello.
Yeah. Yes, ma'am.
Hello, sir. This is Kavita from Christ University, Bangalore. Even I'm also having the same doubt what sir raised. We all know that subconscious mind is in focal awareness, right? Then how come one can master that focal awareness without knowing what is the problem he's facing? What is the depthness of the problem he's facing? Because as a person, if one starts to meditate or to master his mind, he first have to know what is the problem exactly he's facing and what will be the consequences of the problem, right?
Right. Normally, you think patiently. Normally, we are the guide for ourselves. This is the philosophy that I believe. Whatever everything is within our mind. Swami Vivekananda also talks about that. So, the problems we have, first we should sit calmly and identify the problem. When we identify the problems, we can create our own solution. If we are not able to do it, then approach the qualified people like psychologists, like psychiatrists, and find out the problem, and based on that, you can create your own solution. The solution in positive form must be fed to the mind repeatedly. So, you can do it on your own. If you find it difficult, you can approach the qualified people. That will be the problem can be overcome.
Thank you very much.
Sir, one question in chat box. How do we deal with excessive fear and anger? Is there any connection between both?
Moral insecurity, fear, right? For example, when we speak about fear, I remember one story. Right? I would like to share that story with the participants here. how to overcome the fear. It's all in the mind. It's all within ourselves. It seems the great actor Shivakumar sir, who was the one who explained that story to me. I found it very interesting, very beautiful. I would like to share that experience with the participants. The story is this. Once in a house, the rat lived. The rat was a mandiya living in the house, and it had the entire house for itself. Suddenly one day, one cat entered the house from outside. When the rat saw the cat, it became scared, and it was really scared for life. It went and prayed to God. It asked God to provide a rule to face this new adversity coming in the form of cat. So it seems God came and asked the rat what is the problem. The rat told God, the cat is the problem. Please make me a cat, then I will be happy and secure. God gave it the rule, the rat became a cat. So the newly turned the cat became very happy, the rat became very happy. But after some days, went to our house in the street, the dog came down and chased him, barking at him. So the rat again came inside the house, praying intensely to God. God came and asked, what is the problem now? What do you want now? It said, there is a dog outside. It seems very scary. It seems very powerful. Convert me to a dog. So God granted the wish. So the rat now became a dog and roamed in the street. And after some time, there was a tiger which entered the street in the nearby jungle. The rat, when it saw the tiger, it became scared. Came back to the house and started worshipping, appealing to God intensely. This time God came and asked the rat, what is the problem now? What do you want? He said, I saw a tiger which is very ferocious and scared. Please convert me into a tiger so that I can live peacefully. It seems God told the rat, the problem is not with your cat, the problem is not with your rat status, the problem is not with your tiger status. Even if I give you the boon to become a tiger, tomorrow you will come and complain that there is a line, they want to be converted as a line. The problem is not there externally. The problem is there internally within you. It is your fear. What you should do is remove that fear, remove that negativity, be bold, and do peaceful. Saying that God immediately reconverted that dog into the old rat and he left the house. So this story is so simple, conveys everything is in the mind. We can overcome negatives, insecurities, fear, anger, disappointments, depression. If we are really committed to that, and what is the higher your problem, the deeper must be your thought, the deeper must be your efforts, greater must be your involvement. Then only you can remove those problems.
So that was a nice story, sir. It gave really motivations.
Yeah, it was a great show. Sir, there is another question in the chat box. Sir, whether we should devote 24 hours every day for preparation of basic quality in civil servant, as a civil servant aspirant?
There are two aspects. One, preparation of the syllabus. Second, shaping our attitude. The preparation of the syllabus, I always tell the students to prepare for 6 hours a day. 6 days a week. Within 1.5 years, you can cover your syllabus. Consistently, you should study 6 hours. Right? Some students say they will study for 12 hours, 15 hours, etc. It is not needed. If you study 6 hours a day, continuously, 100% concentration, right? 6 days a week, within 18 months, you can finish your syllabus. So that is the first aspect. Second aspect, our attitude, our mind. It is a 24-hour preparation, being positive and absorbing the qualities of good bureaucrats. Right? It is a 24-hour job. That can easily go on. So, as far as preparation is concerned, you need not tax yourself too much. Because some students say, sir, I have to study 14 hours, I am studying only 12 hours, is it enough, etc. That kind of, right, we don't have to do that. Ideal preparation is 100% concentration for 6 hours a day, for 6 days a week or 18 months. That is sufficient.
Thank you, sir. There's one, Ms. Lakshmi Shri. She is asking, sir, how do we deal with excessive fear and anger? Is there any connection between the both?
Yeah, all negatives, as I told in the story, all negatives start from within. When we manage internally ourselves, we can overcome the manifestation of these insecurities. Yes, ma'am.
Thank you, sir. Sir, there's another madam from Sumitra from Delhi. She's asking, tell us few small activities to motivate our children apart from yoga and meditation.
Things that we can do, we can read good books in history, politics, society. So, for example, they talk about the William Henley, the poem. Similarly, there is another poem, very interesting. That poem, I always tell our students, for example, when things go wrong, as sometimes they will, when the roads are dirty, streams are uphill, when the funds are low, when the debt is high, when you want to smile, you have to sigh. When the can is pressing you down a bit, rest you want, but never you quit. So poems, they provide inspiration. Literature is a source of inspiration. So we can not only English literature, even Indian literature, our own literature, Tamil literature, Hindi literature, right? We can ask our children to study books. Books are actually the window to the world. They bring the world to the students and young minds. Reading positive books, stories, etc. We can create good habits and attitudes in the minds of our children. Yes, ma'am.
Thank you. Sir, there's another question related to same anger. Sir, how can we manage our anger at depressed state?
It is the same point, right? Here, just find out the story about the rat. The rat is actually insecure because it has that insecurity. Whatever you give the best work to the rat will not be satisfied because the problem is internal. So unless the problem is solved internally, it's like worry, anger, etc. Right? When you are dealing with them, what normally we do, we cut out the shoe system, we cut out the roots, we cut out the stuff, we cut out the shoe system and think the problem will be solved. But what is important? The root system. Root system is actually not visible, but it is more. It is like an ant. It is actually powerful. Right? You remove the branches, your problem will not be solved. So what we have to do, we have to look at the root system. So we have to look internally, then we can solve the problems. So the best way is to sit in your place and think calmly. Remember, nothing in this world belongs to us. Everything is a passing time. Here I am right towards a great poem in Tamil, which I would like to say here, which I always read. Whenever I feel disappointed, I read this poem. Right? It's a translated poem. The poem reads like this. எழுதி எழுதி விதியின் கை எழுதி எழுதி மேற் சொல்லும் பொழுது போல் நீண்டாலும் சூழ்ச்சி பலன் செய்தாலும் அழுது கண்ணீர் படித்தாலும் அபயம் அபயம் உண்டாகும் மதுரை பின்னால் கேட்குவது ஆற்றில் மாற்றம் செய்யாது. So whatever happens in the world, right? There are things in the world, but we cannot do anything about that. Understanding the reality is very important. And the great saviors talk about this. So the basic point is we have to solve our own problem, and we can solve provided we are confident, provided we concentrate in yourself. Okay.
Thank you, sir. Sir, there's another question, sir. Is there any simple practice to control positive subconscious mind?
I talked about auto-suggestion, daily speaking to your mind. Daily we have to practice. Right? Many people they face a problem at the time they want a solution to practice this, after that they leave it. But this is a work which we have to do. Breathing is normally we are doing breathing all the time. Similarly, talking to your mind, auto-suggestion is an activity which should be continued daily. It needs perhaps around 10 minutes every day before sleeping and immediately after waking up. So daily we do this auto suggestion, then we can do that picturization technique. Whatever we want to be visualization technique. Whatever we want to become in life. Suppose we want to become an entrepreneur. Suppose we want to become a scientist. Suppose we want to become a political leader. All the right, we should picturize everything. We should visualize everything in present form. So auto suggestion and visualization technique are the best techniques that I have seen in my life. I have seen the success of these two techniques in the life of our students. So these two techniques are sufficient for an armed people to overcome failures and to be successful.
Thank you, sir. So there's another question from the participants. What will be your message to the freshers who are aspiring IAS?
The best thing is, the first point is, if anybody is interested in money, IAS is not the option. If anybody is interested in servicing people, in servicing society, in participating in nation building, IAS is the best option. If you become an IAS officer, all the material conflicts will be taken care of. And if you become an IAS officer, you will have power, you will have status, you will have opportunities to serve the people. And given successful businessmen cannot have the opportunities that an IAS officer has. One simple episode I tell you, in one district, one of my friends was a collector. And every day some people from a village came and met him, from one particular colony came and met him, requesting something. And he examined the issue. And the people would complain that they are having this problem for nearly 35 long years. Problem is not solved. Because around 300 families live in that area. They want to have that patta, ownership right, and they are not able to have it. So this collector was very friendly to the people. He examined the issue and he decided to provide patta to the people because within rules it is allowed. So he worked on that and gave patta to the people. The people are very, very happy, around 300 families. After 10 days, again, the 300 families from the place came back to the collectorate and they wanted to meet the collector. And the collector was a bit confused why they want to meet the collector. And the collector asked him to come into the channel and asked them what is the problem now, what do you want? And then the people, they representative said, we have one demand now. The collector asked them what is the demand. The families, they said, we have been fighting for this ownership right here for the past 35 years. We never thought we would get this in our lifetime. But you gave this right to us. We are very happy. Now we want our village to be named after your name as a mark of our thanks and gratitude to you. So collector smiled at the people and he said, I have done my job and it is nice that your demands are fulfilled. And I am also happy because you suggested this, but really I don't want this. Please take care of your children and in whatever way you contribute to society and nation, you do that. Send back to them. So this is a great rich man also cannot have this satisfaction. So IAS officers can have this satisfaction. So in that way, if a child, if a boy, if a student wants to become an IAS officer, if that person has passion to serve the country and the people in mind, is the best option that you can have in his life.
Thank you so much, sir. Sir, there are two more questions. Another question is one Mr. Dr. Shankaran has asked, sir, how to get answers from subconscious mind?
Answers from subconscious mind.
Yes, sir.
And here you have to spend time in that. And you have to work time. There are numerous books which are available. If you work on the books, if you have, if you are interested in this area, it is an ocean. And here one interesting point I tell you that participants here, we should know whatever we do, we should know the limit within which we should operate. Our youngsters, if they want to be successful, right, they can practice this other suggestion and the visualization technique. These two techniques are elementary techniques. They are useful to students to achieve. People to achieve their aims. But mind is an ocean. If you want to go deeper and deeper into the mind, even the greatest savior will not discover the bottom, the limit of the mind and its thinking. So if we want to concentrate on this, we can become a great expert on mind. But if you want to become an expert on mind, you can travel deeply into this journey. But otherwise, this understanding is sufficient for a normal person to achieve his goals, to achieve his ambitions, to live a happy life. This is important. Association and visualization. These two techniques are sufficient. We need not go deeper into this unless we plan to choose mind as our option in life. And there it is bottomless because even Gautam or Buddha is not understood depth of mind. Okay, ma'am?
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir. And there are a lot of questions only related to how to avoid the negative thoughts, sir.
Same thing, ma'am. They can concentrate on the book. They can read a book on their own and get this session, or whatever session is being taught for them.
Yes, yes. So, there are many more questions only related to this, sir. How to convert our ideas into positivity.
Fine. So the point is, it's a very simple, we should not make it, life is actually simple. We should not make it complex. When we make it complex, then what happens, like the field will be dealing with problems only. If you want to be successful, you should make it simple as that. That is the key point.
Thank you so much, sir. Kannan, sir?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. So now, participant, any questions? Okay. So thank you very much for your patience and answering the all the questions about positive thinking and working and preparation of civil service exam. Thanks a lot, sir. So now I request our second year MBA student Vaishnavi to deliver the formal vote of thanks. Over to Vaishnavi.
A very good morning to one of our guests here. It's my privilege to propose a vote of thanks on this occasion. First of all, I'd like to give my hearty vote of thanks to our chief guest, Dr.P.Kannan, raising today's webinar on the topic Personality Development Program and Mastering the Mind for Conquering the World. It's great to hear how you have inspired many students and given them a bright future. I think this session will surely make it to apply your thoughts about mind training in their area. Thank you, sir, for your very interesting and thought-provoking message. I express my gratitude to our principal, Dr. P.Kannan, for organizing such a wonderful event. I would also thank our beloved study, Dr. Shmagina, Kannan, sir, and the doctor for their program. Finally, I thank all the medical students and other participants who have turned out to industry in the great numbers, not only from our department, but rather from all the other departments of various institutions. Thank you so much for listening to the participants. Thank you.
Thank you, Vaishnavi, for your wonderful vote of thanks. So from NIMS, we thank you very much, and we thank all the participants for their support. So we also expect the same kind of coordination in upcoming events also. Thank you very much. If participant you want to share any feedback or any thanksgiving directly to our guest, kindly unmute your mic and you can thank or give wonderful feedback to our guest, please. First, I over to our principal, ma'am. Principal, ma'am.
Yes, Kannan, sir.
Please, ma'am.
Thank you so much, Kanagaraj, sir. You have taken your time off, and it was an awesome 1 hour session. You gave a lot of information and inputs for my children. I'm sure my children who was here in the Google platform and who was having the privilege of taking it in the YouTube channel will certainly imbibe all the points what you said. Today's generation